Hey, what's up, guys? It is Apollo Uchiha here, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I am back with a new short movie. The name of this short movie is What If Naruto Became the Hero and Emperor of the Whole Elemental Nations? And yeah, guys, it is an unscripted short movie. Now, before continuing, this shout out is due where it is due. Shout out to Jimmy Desaitais for suggesting this idea. And moving onwards, I made a little bit changes and made it a little bit dark. So, in advance. Anyways, moving onwards, I have read the comments on what happened on Made What If. I already uploaded a short explaining that I am re-uploading the story. It turns out I was sitting quite far away from mic this time around, and that is why the audio was going down a bit. But that issue is cleared, so yeah, you guys can check out the story and listen to it completely. If it still persists the same issue, do let me know and I'll make the story entirely different new. How about that, guys? And yes, the poll of the final two ideas as of the moment that are going strong is up. Just watch the previous post from yesterday to get the reference of what the ideas are, and then you will get the idea what to vote for. Anyways, enough said. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. As without any further ado, let's begin with our today's short movie. Our story begins in Konoha Gakure no Sato, a week after the QB attack, as we go towards the Shinobi district where we see a house with the proud Uzumaki symbol was on display. Written on the wall was Uzumaki Namikaze residence. Inside the house, we see three people were currently talking to one another, while in another room, two children, almost identical to one another, with a different hair color only, were sleeping, one with red and one with blonde. While on the other side, we see three people were talking to one another while seated across from one another. These were Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage, Kushina Uzumaki, and Jiraiya, sensei of Minato and one of the legendary Sanin, as well as the master of the spy network of Konoha. Are you sure, sensei? This is what the prophecy states. Toads have been shaken up about this. The demons coming from Eva's side. The gates of hell where the demons were sealed by the sage are there. The rabbit goddess, along with her sons, were responsible for getting the world rid of the demons. But sensei, we have never encountered anything of such. But it could be true, Minato. There have been a few demon sightings, but shamans were called. Shamans, yes. And the most oldest shaman, who was said to live for more than 200 years in the land of fire before he passed, gave away a prophecy. Even I remember that. Kushina is right. What is this prophecy? He said that there will be a time when a child of prophecy will arrive. Child born with red and blonde, will bring forth a great change. Either he will save our world, or he will be the only one left in the world that will be rid of demons. Is that right? Said Minato as his hands and feet were now becoming cold. And why do you think that we are the ones said in the prophecy? Because Gamamaru-sama himself mentioned that. He highly states and thinks that it must be you two, and this prophecy is not to be taken lightly because Kami is directly intervened. It has been known in the past by most shamans and even by the clan elders of each and every summoning clan. Some of the Bijus even were aware of that, I presume. This is quite hard to believe, sensei. I know. And who do you think would be the child of prophecy? Said Kushina, becoming extremely serious. Well, obviously, Sensei made the sacrifice. You can tell. Wait, you think that the hero will possess QB's power? It said in the prophecy that he will possess a great weapon against the demons. And who better than the one who possesses the QB who could be used as a weapon? It would have been the QB mentioned as the weapon in the prophecy. You're not entirely wrong when we think about this. Menma was the one, right? Said Minato. Yes, said Kushina. He's the one who has become the jinchuriki. The other half was sealed within Hiruzen-sama before he died because of the contract with Shinigami due to repair that seal usage. I know. So, we have to take him and make sure that he's well trained somewhere far away. We can't leave. Not now. Who's gonna be the Kage? Damn it, you're right. I forgot that Sensei is dead. So what are we gonna do? We have to raise Menma here, said Jiraiya, and with extreme care and importance. But the people, said Minato as he remembered something. Oh no, Sensei, I don't think that will be possible. What? Why? The people, they were enraged. Someone has leaked the news that there is a jinchuriki amongst us, and the people are out for blood, calling for the head of the said child. They know that I'm keeping it. So, all we have to do is then make up a lie, said Jiraiya. Jiraiya is right, Minato. What are you two talking about? What sort of lie can we make? Naruto, said Jiraiya, your other son. He will have to make a great sacrifice. Look, Minato, I know this is wrong, but this is the only way. Look, if there was another way, I would have taken the chance, but this is the only way we have. The only choice that we got. Are we sure, Sensei? I am sure. Kushina, what are we gonna say to the people? I don't want my son to suffer. Listen. As I'm going to say, you have to say word for word. As now we see, Minato was standing atop of the Hokage Tower. As he looked towards, with a nervous glance towards his sensei, as Jiraiya nodded, People of Konoha, I know that you are aware that there is a jinchuriki amongst us. Usually I try to keep it a secret because of out of respect for Hiruzen-sama. But you're crying out for blood. I need to silence that. But Hokage-sama, we need to take out the Biju. When we have the chance now, he's weakened now. I know you are right, my friend, but we can't do that. For you see, if we kill the child, the QB will only reform, and then he will cause chaos and destruction, and this time he will finish the job. As everyone became silent, because only this child was selected by Hiruzen-sama, he said that he had an aptitude of holding the QB within him. What's so special about that child? Said one of the civilians. That is unknown. Hiruzen-sama picked him. He's an orphan for all we know. As everyone became silent. Look, my people, I know you are enraged and want revenge on the QB. But I highly suggest to think other way around, because if you harm the child, the QB will break free. And you know what will happen? Chaos will ensue. As now we see, people were silenced for the moment. As Minato was back into his office, pacing back and forth, as an Anbu arrived. Hokage-sama, I'm here to take the child. Yes. As Minato with his own hands handed off his boy, who wasn't even a jinchuriki, to the said Anbu. Make sure that he's protected and guarded with our life, Hokage-sama. You do not need to say this twice. And so the Anbu disappeared, delivering the child to the orphanage that volunteered to raise him. As that is when Minato then said, I hope what we're doing is worth it, Sensei. It will be. When the time is right, as my plan suggests, Minato will be ready. Menma will be ready, Minato. And at that time, we will go and retrieve Naruto. The people will realize that what we did was for their own betterment. I hope this is worth it. And so now we see time begin to pass by. Naruto now practically had no attachment to anyone. He was raised alone, always on his own. He, at the age of 8, wanted to become a shinobi, so he was able to join. Why? Because Danzo and the others pushed for it. They were told not to intervene because Minato made sure that even if he was not allowed to intervene in Naruto's life, then they would too as well. So the council had no play in it. Usually there would be some moments when Naruto would get injured by people throwing stuff at him, but now Naruto has grown cold to that because he didn't care about the people. Because these people hated him for some reason. He couldn't fathom. As now we see, Naruto was seated inside the academy, where he was called demon, monster, by everyone, even Menma, who laughed at his face, and was bullied continuously throughout the whole academy. But Naruto was able to learn a few things, even though at the cost of just cleansing and self-learning. He was able to graduate, which shocked Iruka as well as many others who were trying their desperate attempts to fail him. They couldn't, because Naruto has passed, even against all that odds. As now we see, Naruto, being the lowest of the low because of the marks that they cutted, or as much as they could cut to fail, but still couldn't fail him, was placed into Team 7 with Menma and Sasuke. As both of the teammates had an ego around them. Menma because he was from the legendary Uzumaki and Namikaze clan and was the son of the 4th Hokage, had an air about him, while Sasuke, his lackey of a sort had an air about him as well, because he only befriended elites and clan heads and whatnot, and the most powerful shinobis, because of his heritage as an Uchiha, an elite clan. And that is why they detested Naruto. The only person who ever bothered to teach Naruto was, well, Kakashi. He taught Naruto after finding out that his affinities were water as well as lightning, two of the most devastating if combined together, and deadliest. And Naruto was learning the lightning style from Kakashi, and were also doing missions. While they went on the Land of Waves mission, Naruto was the only one who was willing to help, while the other two wished to retrieve. And were egotistical that they shouldn't help how Tazuna was betraying them. They made Tazuna beg on their knees while his head was on the ground, begging them to save him. And only then, when Naruto called them out and, well, threatened them that they are not so strong and whatnot, and also insulted them, that Naruto got beaten and they accepted this. Naruto didn't care. But in the end, once they arrived, they were able to face the true threats of the outer world. Menma and Sasuke were able to hold on their own while Naruto was defending Tazuna. He was getting, well, all the thrown hits, because Menma and Sasuke were trying their best to throw everything that was thrown towards them, deflecting it back to Naruto. Naruto was getting a lot of bruises and scratches, as Naruto was able to withstand. As once this was over, we see that Naruto was the one who carried Kakashi, because both of the others, being arrogant as they were, didn't wanted to bother with him. And so they finally reached the Land of Waves. There, Menma and Sasuke fought against Inari and the others, even threatening him to kill him if he doesn't shut up about being a hero and whatnot, because Menma believed that he was, and Sasuke, as being his lackey, usually told praises of him. Naruto, after listening to this, was heartbroken as he arrived inside Inari's room. Look, Inari, life of every person out there is hard. Those two have it easy, and they would never be able to understand what people like you and I go through. Really? Yes. You don't need to worry about them. They're just... Don't bother with them, okay? You're better than them. Look, if what's it worth? I'll be able to help you train so that you'll be able to learn a few things. And that Naruto did. Kakashi, obviously, when he was weakened, was quite proud of Naruto because he was teaching others how to defend himself. Naruto was then halted because Menma threatened that if he doesn't stop, that he will tell his father and make sure that Naruto stops his career, because he is leaking out secrets of Konoha to the others. Naruto was sad about this, but he knew that the basics that he had taught were more than enough. You need to practice this, and only after that you need to read this scroll. It's a Kenjutsu scroll. I'm sorry I can't tell you anything because they are threatening me. Why are you putting up with them? I have no other choice. You have a few family members, right? Your grandfather and your mother. Yeah, I do. Well, I have none of them. I'm an orphan, said Naruto, with a sad smile on his face, as Inari's eyes widened. Really? Yes. And that is why I don't want you to suffer and lose the people that I don't have. As after that we see, Naruto then left, as the bridge was almost close to completion when there was another attack. Menma and Sasuke, while in the ice dome, were fighting against one another, and only then we see that Menma, out of rage, used the Rasengan, slamming and destroying the snow prison. But then again, he was frozen from neck down and was halted in one place, while Kakashi was underwater prison jutsu and Naruto was alone to face the ice user. Naruto obviously held against his own, and after taking a lot of bruises and a lot of clotting because of the broken ribs and whatnot, after the fight, he was able to defeat Haku, and was still able to somehow stand. Quick, you damn idiot, what are you waiting for? Free us, said Sasuke. Make yourself useful, Naruto. Free us, said Menma. I don't have water element. Only Sensei will be able to help you. And so, Naruto fought against Zabuza, knocking him out. Somehow, by some miracle, he was able to. With an axe kick, he was able to knock out Zabuza while he was on the other side busy with Kakashi. As Kakashi was able to break free, but that is when we see Gato arrived. Zabuza, in a fit of rage after finding out what he was gonna do with Haku, was able to kill all of them. And that is when he was given an ultimatum. And that was to leave, as Naruto then said. Leave. Why are you helping us? We tried to leave. I don't want to harm you. To leave. And so the both of them did. As soon as they ran away, Menma and Sasuke were able to free themselves. What the hell do you think you're doing? They said, punching Naruto into the guts, causing him to flung up into the air and fell down, face first to the ground. As Menma began to beat and kick Naruto, and Sasuke joined in. You damn idiot! You let the enemy get away! Let me get back to the village and then I'll tell this to everyone what you have done. As Naruto was knocked out cold. Enough! Said Kakashi. He's knocked out, Menma. Shut up, Nissan, you don't know what I'm going through. I was insulted. I won't let them slide. I'll make father raise their bounty in the bingo book. As now we see, Naruto and his team somehow got back. What are we gonna name the village, Oji-san? Let's name it the Great Naruto Village. Because that boy alone took a lot from us. As once they returned, there was no response from the Land of Waves, and once asked, Kakashi gave in the full review. Naruto on the other side was bandaging himself up and healing himself because of the wounds that has been inflicted. Thank his Uzumaki genes and his quick healing because he was not being treated by any hospital, even the shinobi ones, because they tested the Kyuubi, not knowing that he didn't have any of it. As Naruto was sitting alone in his apartment bandaging himself up, he suddenly felt tears, heart-burning tears in his eyes as he finally broke down. In all his life of 13 years, he has never broken down. But now he did. He has endured and endured and endured. It was his breaking point. Why was he going through this hell? Why does he need to survive in this village? He had had enough. As he got up, and then limped towards the Hokage Tower. After arriving there, he got somehow an appointment with the Hokage. It was late at night. Naruto had to wait for almost an entire day without eating or drinking anything because the assistant told him if he leaves, his appointment will be cancelled, making him suffer in the hot day. And once the appointment came, Naruto was almost dizzy, but he got in. Yes, what can I do for you, Naruto? Hokage-sama, said Naruto in that wounded state. I wish to resign from the Genin rank. What? Are you sure? Yes. I don't think this job is cut out for me. I tried my best and I don't think I'm cut out for this. Here. As Naruto gave away his headband and his license was cancelled, he was no longer a Genin. And I will be grateful if some help will be provided. My personal physician will see you, said Minato with a sad smile on his face as Naruto limped towards the medics with the help of Anbu. As he sighed. After that day at work, we see that Minato wound up and ended up home. And he spoke to Kushina about that. And Kushina for the first time looked shocked and then remembered and then felt sad. As Minato then said, he is suffering enough. We're putting him through hell, Kushina. I saw him in the condition he was today. As unbeknownst to them, Menma was listening to all of this. Look, Minato, I know that he is suffering, but there's nothing we can do. For Menma's safety, he has to endure this for the time being. As Menma's eyes narrowed, after all, he is his brother. He is not the jinchuriki Menma is. But we haven't told Menma and he hasn't used the jinchuriki Kyuubi's abilities yet. In due time he will. After the Chunin exams, we will begin with his training. Alright, you're right about that. As Menma was shocked, I am the jinchuriki of the Kyuubi? And Naruto, that Naruto is my brother? I hated him because he looked like me. More like my father than I did. Now that makes sense, as that is when a hollow laugh was heard. What do you think will happen, brat, once the people find out that you are the jinchuriki of mine and not him? They will detest you, hate you. They will cause you the same pain that he has suffered. What do you think will happen? As Menma began to see the visions that his family has left him and whatnot. No, I can't allow this to happen. Naruto is Naruto. A clanless idiot who doesn't deserve to be a shinobi. Good thing that he is ridden. I am the alone son of Minato and Kushina, the hero and savior of Konoha. Of course you are, said the QB, as Minato Menma's eyes flashed red with slits in them before turning back to blue. As now we see, next morning, Menma revealed this news to Kakashi as well as Sasuke. Good riddance, I might say. What do you think, Sensei? As Kakashi didn't say anything but closed his eyes. Well, I guess that broke him, huh? I kept that secret from Sensei that he was beaten by Menma and Sasuke just to save their face, but they even took his credit. And he didn't even spoke a word on it. I feel guilty somehow. I hope I'm not making a mistake. As this was going on, we see that the Chunin exams arrived. Naruto didn't care though, because he was busy thinking of finding a job. But when he was kicked out of almost each and every shop in the whole district, he realized that nobody would want him. So Naruto began to think that what was he doing in this place for the first time? Because nobody wanted him to work with them. Nobody wanted him to be a shinobi. Then why is he here? Just to suffer? He had had enough of these people. He didn't care about them now. He was done trying to change their perspective of him. He was who he was. If they're not gonna tell him why the hell they hate him so much, then it's good as, well, he leaves. Because they were just gonna kill him with all this loneliness that was growing heavy on him, suffocating him, and from literal hunger. So, Naruto then began to make a plan on how to escape. But that all came to reality within a month when Naruto's funding almost was out that he has been able to save, and when the QB Konoha, the Konoha crash began. Turns out Orochimaru and Suna had attacked, and there was literally chaos everywhere. Taking this chance, Naruto gathered his stuff and left, while his apartment luckily was destroyed because of a Bijudama. As now we see, Naruto saw this as a blessing in disguise and decided to leave for good. As now we see, Naruto disappearing from Konoha, walking into the woods, never to be seen. Konoha somehow was able to suppress that attack, and Suna and Orochimaru were forced to retreat. And as soon as they did, we see that another thing happened. Sasuke, turns out, in the Genin exams had been given a curse mark, and Orochimaru was persuading him to betray his clan and even Menma. He could be the hero and savior. He could be the child of prophecy, because it was never mentioned in stone that Menma was the one. And not only that, he could become strong as Madara Uchiha. He can become the true elite of the elite, and only then his clan will realize that he did for the greater good what he was about to do. And finally, Sasuke gave in. And as soon as he did, he betrayed the village by knocking and killing their new teammate Sakura Haruno. Obviously, Menma and the others were sent, as Menma, with the help of others, was able to clear out the traps and was able to arrive at the Valley of the End. There, Sasuke, in his demonic cursed state, was able to beat the rest of them while they were still conscious. But down, we see that Naruto, Menma, with all his rage, unleashed the Kyuubi's chakra, tapping into it, using his hatred, and was beating down Sasuke. But in the end, Orochimaru intervened and was able to knock out Menma, as both of them escaped. As the others were quite terrified. The Jonins also saw this, and once they returned in front of the whole council, they wanted to know what happened, and everything was revealed. Minato was sweating bullets when this was revealed, and the news spread like wildfire in whole Konoha what has transpired. But at the moment they realized the lies of their Kage, they also realized that they, for the past 13 years, have hated and tormented for many years a poor soul who was not the Kyuubi's jinchuriki. And Minato even agreed to that he wasn't. And it was all a plan of Jiraiya. The situation was getting worse if it wasn't for Jiraiya coming back and revealing to them the prophecy that how for Menma's sake that this was needed to be done. And only then the people calmed down somewhat, still regretting that how the boy turned to them, begging for help, but they turned him away by throwing stuff at him, causing him to bleed again and again. When he was young, he cried, begging for some food and whatnot, but they didn't bother to give him anything. How in the hell did a lone child survive for that long? Amongst them, they even were terrified of that. And so the situation with Venma got worse as well. Because now, everyone kept him at arm's length. Nobody wanted him near. Even his own friends who were scared of him and the power. And how he was using Naruto as a crutch. And now that Naruto was away, they began to feel bad for him. For calling him names and demons. They still remembered his face. When the first day he arrived, he was hoping to make friends, but he was kicked to the corner and was berated for being a demon and whatnot. He didn't understand what they were trying to say, but that didn't matter to them because they knew what he was. Many of the batchmates of Naruto regretted that. But now, nobody was able to say their goodbye or say apologize because Naruto turned out his apartment was destroyed, turned to dust. Nothing was recovered, not even his body. Many thought that the boy died a horrific death, while some thought that he was not present there. But most of them agreed to that the boy was not present, so it means he was either AFK, missing MIA, missing in action, or he was dead. As now we see, on the other side, time began to pass as Naruto registered with the mercenary guild and became to work as mercenary. He worked for many other villages and made sure and vowed to himself that if he never stood a foot inside Land of Fire or neither the other pieces of Konoha or such not. As things were growing, we see that the Kages were also becoming aware of the prophecies, but they disregarded it, saying that this was just an exaggerated thing. But one village didn't, and that village in itself was Kumo, because they realized that the child of prophecy is now in a position where either it's on him whether he chooses to save them or not. And they became terrified of this because this was sent to them by each and every summoning clan and even by their own jinchurikis. And the jinchurikis were tasked to find him. All the while, Naruto was trying his best to do what he could just to survive. He would kill now. He didn't care because this world was out to get him. Has been for the past 13 years. He didn't care if he had to soak his hands in blood. But he would only kill scums. If he was given a target such as to kill a man who was doing some good, he wouldn't. He would kill the one who was commissioned it. One time, he almost came close to killing a normal person when his child jumped in and Naruto horrifyingly then turned and dashed away while apologizing. It was quite shocking to them, but they realized that this was not a killer. He was just doing his job while being a mercenary. Naruto didn't want it to make another child orphan because he knew how horrible that life was. And now we see, currently he was busy fighting with a group of bandits that were quite strong, known as the Black Raid Bandits, that have raided and killed a lot of people and have taken a lot of women hostage, doing nasty things to them. Naruto obviously decided to intervene, but he was being targeted and hit from all these directions, as even his masks have cracked that he was wearing now, which was a wolf mask, because he, like a lone wolf, was attacking everyone. As suddenly Naruto's hands began to glow, as suddenly a huge blade emerged with golden lightning, as Naruto then unsheathed it from the lightning sheath that it possessed. And somehow Naruto's eyes that turned gold immediately knew what it was. Excalibur, the eradicator of demons, sent straight from heavens. As with a single swipe, Naruto not only cleaved them off, but also the trees and the mountains and the surrounding area. A huge disaster of clean cut was made, at least up to 5 to 8 miles, in the direction of the whole slash. Not a single thing was standing. Everything was cleaved in half, while the rest was destroyed alongside the men. As Naruto with a single hand now was holding on to the blade while stabbing it into the ground and was now trying his best to stay and remain alive. As he was panting heavily, that is when we see he was surrounded by some shinobis as he tried to get up, but a hand was on his shoulder. Rest, hero. You are needed. As Naruto then passed out, as the blade then disappeared. Gyuki, that was Excalibur, the sword of heaven. It's my first time in thousands of years seeing it. That is a cool blade, yo, said B. Now is not the time, B. We need to bring him back to Kumo, towards Aizama. And so now we see Naruto woke up with a lot of bandages over his body, As his eyes opened, we see that he found himself in an unknown room. What? Where? Said Naruto as he was hurt. Rest. As Naruto then looked towards his body that was covered in scars for the past 3 years that he has been working as a mercenary. As that is when a girl entered. She had long blonde hair and was wearing Kumo outfit. Kumo, what am I doing here? Here, drink this. This is water. I'm Yushito-ni, and we brought you here because you were fighting at the border of our territory. We saw you surge of power and arrived there. Why? Because I said so. We have been searching for you, Naruto. How do you? We know who you are. We have been doing some research and found out that you were the one. The one? Yes, the hero who will save the whole humanity. As Naruto, for a moment, stayed still and then tried to laugh. Sorry to say, Raikage-sama, but that was not a nice joke. How can I, an orphan, save the whole humanity? And from what exactly? Demons? Monsters? As Naruto laughed, of course. What? You're joking. No. I wish I was. The gates in which the rabbit goddess and her sons, the sage and the one that lives on the moon, seal the demons, are present in Eva. Our daimyo has directly confronted, but Eva has denied everything. And now it has come to term that if they do appear, only then Kumo, who has taken this threat not lightly, will, if they all die, conquer their land. I see, so you need to use me as a weapon. Correct. I'm not interested in being weapon and tool of anyone. I know how that feels. I don't want to be that. You are the hero, and I urge you to please save us at least, because we don't wish to die. How can I be the hero? Close your eyes and concentrate. Try to summon the weapon. The Excalibur. The what now? The weapon that you summoned, as Naruto's memories rushed back. Excalibur. And suddenly, the blade materialized in his hand as the golden sheath disappeared, made out of pure light. As Naruto was quite shocked. This blade, it's not heavy at all. As Naruto tilted it, causing a cut to appear in air that slashed through the wall. Careful, said A. That weapon is extremely dangerous because it's sent from heaven. It can cut through anything. You destroyed almost 5-mile radius of area with a single slash of this weapon. This weapon alone indicates that you are the hero. All you need to know is that you are to be trained. The shamans have arrived here from all the villages because they have begged and urged their daimyos and their kages, but they have been dismissed. They wish to speak to you. As the 5 great elder shamans then stood. We are the eldest shamans of different temples. We have all made an alliance in order to know that your training is fruitful, hero. My training? Yes. Only you will be able to stop this catastrophe. No one else aside from you can do that. Fine. But I don't wish to save those who don't wish to be saved. That is agreed upon. And so, without any hesitation, Naruto's training began. All the while, on the other side, Menma was then called in front of his parents. As Menma was informed that he was going to get a weapon soon, indicating that he was a hero. Menma boasted in front of everyone in the village, calling them names and whatnot. And then he called his parents because he had a great idea. He wanted everyone to see his inauguration as a hero, and then he was gonna rub it in faces of everyone. And so his parents agreed. And once Kamamaru-sama was brought there, and the other Toad elders, alongside with Slug Sage and all the other summoners gathered, that is when things got serious. As Kamamaru looked towards all of them and towards Menma and said, "Where is the hero? He's not here." As Menma looked shocked, "What? I am here. I'm standing in front of you." Kamamaru-sama, "You're not the hero, child. The hero has already awakened the weapon, Excalibur, the strongest blade made and forged by Kami herself from her own essence." What do you mean? It was supposed to be your child, Minato. Kushina. Do you not have any other? And at that very moment, Jiraiya, Minato, and Kushina knew they fucked up colossally. Oh no. Menma also realized. No, this cannot be. How can he be the hero and not me? I am the child of prophecy. These idiots told me that I was. Telling and being is quite different, child. If I told you that you are Kami, would you believe that? That is absurd, said Menma. That is why I am saying that they telling you and you believing is absurd. You never were the hero, child. And you never will be. Let us leave. It is only up to his shoulders now to decide. And Jiraiya? Yes, I am extremely disappointed in you. You for the second time have let us down. As after that all of them left. As Jiraiya looked down. How can this be? That old toad doesn't know what he's talking about. I am the hero. You hear me? As people begin to laugh, make fun of Menma. Until Danzo then arrived. Silence! If he is not, then who is? Kamamaru-sama said that there was another child of yours. There has to be. Naruto was our son. Yes, he was our son. It was my idea, said Jiraiya. They went along with it because I suggested it. We thought that Menma was the one. The weapon would be the Kyuubi. Never in my dreams would I have thought that it would be a blade sent from heaven. Well, you got it wrong. People of Konoha, if we are to be doomed by this obnoxious prophecy, then it is because of the Namikaze Uzumaki household. They have destroyed the legacy of the previous Hokages, and I beg and demand that his seat is to be taken from him, and the Uzumaki and Namikaze clan is to be kicked out. They're no longer a part of Konoha. They have insulted us in front of everyone. As suddenly the cheers began to erupt, the same people that worshipped them at one point, and Menma, were now yelling to kick them out. And so they were, as tomatoes and whatnot were being thrown at them. Menma was shocked, enraged, and then he talked to the Kyuubi Knight. You said that I was the hero. Foolish child, you believe everything I say. Do you not know who I am? As at that moment Menma realized that what he was what to do was taught by Kyuubi. Yes, it was taught by me, because I wanted you all humans, for your flashbacks to be destroyed, and for that the demons need to arrive. Only he will be able to survive to tell the tale, while all of you, the rest of you, will die out now. As 1 year passed, nothing happened. Kuma still urged, but nobody listened. Half a year next passed, as Naruto reached at the age of 18 almost. 17 and a half. He was currently, when all hell broke loose. Demons erupted, began to eat flesh of humans, hunting them down. Whatever they tried, chakra elemental attacks, Biju attacks, nothing worked, because they couldn't be killed by such weapons or attacks. It was a massacre. A bloody massacre. Demons they have never seen. Horrific monsters were erupting from everywhere. Namikaze Uzumaki family was able to hide throughout all of this mess because they were hiding underneath the ground where the scent of there was not being able to grab by the demons. They were making sure of it, masking everything up. Menma was terrified, and so were the others. 2 parents of his. They were hiding in an abandoned Uzumaki shelter. That is all they could do, while the rest of the world was filled with screams and screeches of demon. But once they all turned towards Kumo, that is when we see Naruto was ready. He was wearing the robes that were prepared for him, as in his hand was the blade, Excalibur. As he then stabbed the blade onto the ground, as a huge golden ball erupted. As Naruto then said, "Charge!" And then he went headfirst into the battle. His energy was then made into the weapons of the others as well. Naruto supplying them energy with his own chakra meant that they were becoming stronger, and their weapons were more than enough to kill the enemies. There were little to no casualties, but the demons were being killed. They were pushed back, but Naruto decided to kill them all. Hunting them down one after the other, they all were killed. It took war 1 whole month to end, and within that month Naruto has cleared out everything. The robes that he wore were now tattered, and the armor that he wore was crushed and dented badly. But in the end he was able to withstand all the attacks. His face had a scar on his face because of a demon attack that ran from above his eyes down to his chin. But now Naruto was able to withstand it and was able to kill the rest. Orochimaru and the others who were able to survive alongside Sasuke were able to find out the prophecy has become in return truth as Orochimaru has said. But not only that, Sasuke has been downright terrified because he knew that Naruto now possessed the power of the god because of the Excalibur blade given to him. After saving the world, Naruto returned, as that is when the daimyo, who now has become emperor, then said, "Everyone, as a thanks for Hero, I wish for him to be killed because he is now a threat to us." As Naruto then brought out his blade and literally with a single swipe cleaved off his neck. Nobody moved because they all were loyal to Naruto. Because of him they all survived. Anybody else has to say anything? No, my lord. Nothing at all. That man thought that he, now emperor, could kill anyone and do whatever he deems to see fit because he is now the ruler. Said A, "If anyone, Naruto-sama, you are fit to be the emperor, the one who led into the battle and assured our victory. We, the Kumo, always will trust you and will be your loyalist allies because we have won because of you. And I place my complete faith in Kumo because they have made me aware of this destiny and made sure that it was fulfilled." As a huge celebration erupted, everywhere the news spread that the demons have been slain and killed. The hero has saved the world. Menma, Minato, and Kushina now arrived outside to the surface, and many others did as well. But they were all downright terrified because now they realized the only lands that were able to survive were the lands that were into the village of the clouds, the new empire that now regened over the whole lands, as on the agreement. And Naruto has become the new emperor of the empire. And he has been given a bride, Yuishito, and has settled down with her. Now Minato, Kushina, and Menma thought of an idea. They could live in luxury and as well as live with honor if they go to Naruto, because he was their son, something that they need to tell. And once they arrive, they begin to tell lies that how it was Jiraiya's fault, who was dead now, that they had did this. Regardless of what you think and what you believe, I already know that you are lying. For you see, this blade is sent from heaven. It has a lot of abilities. One of it is, when someone is spitting bullshit, I will be able to identify it. So speak the truth, said Naruto as his blade began to glow, radiating hot energy from it. We did what we did, Naruto, look, but it was for the best. Look, you turned out to be a great hero. Silence, said Naruto, as the blade moved only a little, causing cracks to appear on the floor, as the whole room shook. You threw me away into the dens of wolf, saying that I was an orphan, the Kyuubi's jinchuriki, when I wasn't, and you wanted me to believe that you did this for my sake? Get the hell out of my empire. You're not welcomed here. Sail away, Minato no Mikaze, and never return, because if you do, I will put you down myself. As he looked towards Menma then, you clanless buffoon, idiot, demon, huh? Who's the demon now? And who is the hero that you also proclaimed that you were? Listen, enough, Menma. I don't need to hear your bullshit. Leave before I do what I did to Sasuke when he came, trying to kiss my feet. As that is when outside they saw Sasuke's head, which was served from his body on a spear, alongside with Orochimaru and whatnot. I do not care about you all. I am throwing you away, like you threw me away. Get the fuck out of my face. As that is when he said, guards, take them away, and make sure you throw them so far that they won't be able to reach the Empire's ground ever again. Hi. As the guards then took them and threw them out, well, Yusuke walked out now, calming her husband, making sure that the era of the Empire would be glorious as it was about to begin. As this is where I'm going to be leaving this short movie off, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. As this is Apollo Uchiha, and I'm signing off for the day. Peace.